Hello, YTD here. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about this Sony Post Elite headphones. And in that video, I highly recommended these headphones because I believed that the sound profile was of good quality for the price. But that doesn't mean that I wasn't keeping my eyes out for newer or better headphones. Like many gamers out there, part of the fun is replacing your gear frequently. So that means that I'm always on the lookout for something that can enhance my gaming, even if I'm just replacing something that I'm currently using. And that's the case with this SteelSeries headphone that I decided to try out to see if it would be a replacement for the Sony Elite. This is a video about two products, so I can very definitively say that one of these headphones is in fact better than the other. So while getting ready for this video, playing many different types of games, I discovered certain things that I'd never paid attention to, even though they were probably there the entire time. Number one is that Call of Duty has some of the best secondary sound design in the game. Because Call of Duty is a fast-paced game, I don't think anyone really ever stops to pay attention to anything outside of gunshots and footsteps, but as you run around the map, you can actually hear many of the environmental things that are happening in the game. Secondly, Valorant has some of the best spatial sound design in the game. It's almost as though the sound works in a 360 rotation, because in Valorant, if you put on your headphones the wrong direction, something interesting happens in that you will still hear the sound in the same 360 rotation. You're just going to be surprised when you realize that an enemy you thought was on the left side was actually on the right side, and then realizing that, oh, you put your headphones on the wrong direction. Yes, this is a real experience that I've had many times while I was still using these headphones. Thirdly, Immortals of Avium has some of the best cinematic opening when it comes to sound, but do yourself a favor and go listen to the soundtrack on Spotify. A few months back, I was contacted by a company who wanted me to try out their cheaper headphones and do a video about it. Since the headphones cost $50, I honestly figured to myself that there's no way a $50 headphone is not going to be worth the price. Well, I was shocked to find out that those particular headphones, I would not buy them for $5. So I'm going to start the video by saying that both of these headphones cost $200 plus, but I think one of them is more worth the price, even though I do recommend both of them. Personally, I do love this design. I hope that Sony will watch this video and release this in different colors, like let's say a red color. I think it would be really cool because, again, I love this contour, and these black donuts are still some of the most comfortable that I've ever felt. However, something about the design of this headphone kind of speaks to me. Yeah, it's pretty traditional. Most headphones are like this and they kind of swivel, but the color choice here with just a really simplistic blue band kind of make it pretty special. The only critique that I have on this is that all the white cloth does get dirty really quickly. I've had this for about 2 weeks and yeah, it's already pretty dirty. So again, I probably wouldn't mind having this in different colors, but I cannot hate the simplicity of the design. However, there is one major difference between the two that might be the deal breaker for some. The Sony headphones doesn't connect to anything like your phone, so really it is a lot more limited in that sense. As I said before, both headphones in my opinion are worth the price, just depending on what you're looking for. But here is where I think we do get a clear winner, and that is in the area of sound. Let me start by just saying that, again, both headphones do sound really good, and honestly what sets them apart is quite interesting in that it really just comes down to an issue of volume. And this part is a little bit weird to talk about. When I was in the military, yes, I did work specifically with hearing, but I had to go back and do just a little bit of research to figure out what it means when something just isn't loud enough. A decibel is the measuring unit of sound pressure, and I feel like I have to kind of bring in some professional sounding word there, because saying that one headphone is louder than the other kind of sounds really weird if it isn't fully explained. So the full explanation of what I'm saying is that the Sony headphone sounds better at a louder volume. Okay, Okay, now there could be several factors to this, and it doesn't necessarily mean that if you reduce both headphones to their lowest possible sound, that the Sony will be better. But based on what I'm hearing when I put both of them on, I think that is precisely what will happen. When I first reviewed these headphones, one of the things that I mentioned is how muffled it sounded when I put them on. And at the time, I was shocked because these headphones are not noise canceling. So when you put on headphones that is not noise canceling but mimics the effect of a noise canceling headphone, it really helps to make the sound feel more sharp. And yeah, feel is kind of also a really interesting way to describe sound, but at this point there's really no other words that I can come up with to describe more perfectly what I'm trying to say. These headphones are louder, and because they're louder, it just sounds better. The SteelSeries headphones are designed really well, so I'm not gonna hold them up because I think it might be too bright on your face, so I'm just gonna put them down. But the design itself, there's really nothing wrong with it. It does fit comfortably. Yes, it moves around a bit, but when you look at them, you can also see that perhaps the design itself is the reason why the Sony headphones sound better. But at the end of the day, I just can't overlook that simple fact that yes, the Sony headphones just sound better because you can turn the volume up higher. So it just gives you more immersion. And that might not be a deal breaker for some of you, because hopefully if it's not good, it just so happens that in the environment that I play games in, I like to have something that really puts me into the game so I don't have to listen to any of the outside noise. Even with that being said though, the Sony headphones also happen to be cheaper, not by a whole lot. I think it's just around $20 in Canada, which will be around maybe $12 American. But again, when you factor in the fact that I think they sound better and they're a little bit cheaper, well, for some of you that actually might be what works. So if I have to give a recommendation as to which one of this you should get, yeah, I think the Sony is a better option because yes, it is cheaper and I think the sound profile is better. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Oh, if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do so. It'll help the channel greatly. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.